Hi, my name is Kim. I have a small business called Asian Paracord, and welcome to my channel. I was recently contacted by a client who had seen the Royal Danish Air Force bracelet that I recently posted on my social media, and he wanted to hear if I could make a bracelet symbolizing the World War II Danish resistance movement to commemorate his grandfather's memory. Here in Denmark, where I live, the matter of the resistance is still an important thing to remember and celebrate. We still put candles in our windows to mark the liberation of Denmark, and the words "Never again the 9th of April" are still heard from time to time. Before the German occupation decided to disband the Danish army in 1942, a cache of makeshift armbands were designed and made because, in case of a German collapse, it would be needed to conscript a number of men and send them out on the streets to keep law and order. This was known as Plan P. The armband was thought to be the minimal required uniform to mark the conscripts as combatants, thus ensuring complete compliance with the Geneva Convention of 1907. A bunch of military capes were cut and the colors of our flag were sewn upon it, and then a round metal emblem with a crest with 3 lions were sewn upon the armband as well. When the army was disbanded, this cache of armbands went missing and ended up in the hands of the resistance movement. And they started to wear them to, again, ensure that they lived up to the Geneva Convention when they were doing sabotage and the likes. Now back to the bracelet. I've been wanting to make this bracelet for quite a while, and therefore I had a pretty good idea of how I wanted to execute the pattern to make it just right. This particular pattern would be a combination of the sanctified covenant modified white pattern, and I'd combine it with the Enders Falls pattern. The only real challenge to me was how I would be able to get my hands on an over 77-year-old emblem. Luckily, I have a great contact when it comes to emblems, so I reached out to him, and he actually had a couple of the original emblems, but he was pretty quick to point out that those emblems would be too big to make it look good, considering that they're about 40 millimeters in diameter, and that's roughly the size of my bracelets as well. He did have an awesome suggestion though. You see, after the war, a lot of the resistance members would not give up their weapons again. Remember how I mentioned the words "never again the 9th of April" in the beginning of the video? The situation had changed, and now an occupation from the Soviets were considered a real threat. The resistance members continued to meet and train, and they formed local home guard organizations. I guess what people in other countries would refer to as local militias. The government decided to do the smart thing and accept that the population had a will to defend the country, and thus a National Volunteer Home Guard Force was conceived in 1949. A home guard that still exists to this day and has just celebrated its 75th birthday. In the first couple of years, some emblems were worn by the members in their hats. These emblems resemble the crest on the round metal emblems in size and shape. And my contact had some of those as well, so I bought those and I cleaned one of them as good as I could without risking damaging the emblem, and I sewed it on using something called nanocord, which is well, it's a string that has a tensile strength of 17 kilograms. In the end, I think I nailed this challenge, but let me know in the comments what do you think. Also, thank you for watching, and if you think that I've earned it and you want to see more from me, it would mean a lot if you would like to subscribe to my channel. Also, YouTube thinks you might like this video next.